Excellent. Hello, everybody. We are here a couple minutes late, a couple technical glitches, but we rolled with it, and we're really excited to have today's real special guest on, Dr. Travis Cox. And Travis is a chiropractor. He is a proud parent of two. He's the manager of the Institute for Human Potential. He's also just an all-around real nice guy. And I think the world needs more of those nice guys. So we wanted to have him on today's show. And Travis, thanks for being part of this.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Totally welcome. So let's get started. Let's jump into it. And I want everybody who is online, I know there's a couple of people out there watching us. You can post your comments. You can also throw in some questions here at the end of our broadcast. We're going to give Dr. Travis an opportunity to answer those and to engage with you. So we really intend this to be as engaging as possible and really serve our community. So Travis, why don't you fill us in a little bit about what human potential is all about?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you mentioned a moment ago, I'm with the clinic, the Institute for Human Potential, which the human potential element is our main focus. And within our clinic side of things, our mission is to actually liberate human potential in all aspects of life for those people in our community. And human potential is kind of an interesting thing because human potential is a pretty vague concept, but the human potential movement started back in the 60s in the counterculture, which kind of makes sense if you knew what was happening back then. But human potential movement is using this premise that there are latent qualities in many people that if you can develop them and express them more easily, then you can enrich your life. But as we know, we have this ripple effect. When you have the best in each of us enriches all of us. So there's this movement to try to help individuals realize their potential so they can be more fulfilled, express more happiness, be more themselves so that they can enhance and have this ripple effect across the community and social change at large. So that's really the context of this human potential element that we are focusing on. And of course, it's a big deal.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so that's our focus, and that's what we aim to do, and that's what part of my life's purpose is as well.
Awesome, excellent. It's a big deal, and it's also a practical deal too. I remember listening to Eddie Vedder, one of my favorites, and he said, "You know what? I don't care if you're a gas jockey or the president of the United States. We just want you to be functioning and doing the best at what you're up to." And so this is practical whether you're a stay-at-home mom or if you're a chiropractor, if you're an elite athlete, or if you're an artist. Mm-hmm. So in the Mind or Guru program, we talk about, and obviously with chiropractic as well, we talk a lot about innate. How does innate relate to human potential?
That's a big question. My interpretation of that is innate intelligence and your ability to be in touch with it is that inner wisdom within is the very premise of expressing your human potential. So what I mean by that is put it further in context, a bigger explanation of our mission in these clinics is to we exist to serve and educate as many people as possible on the importance of living a life that is clear and connected. And what I mean by that is being clear and connected with your own inner self, with your own inner wisdom, with your inner innate intelligence, with your authentic self, so that you can better express that with ease and again in order to lead you towards that direction of having fulfillment and happiness. So I think it's of utmost importance to be in touch with your inner intelligence, with that inner wisdom, because without it, you don't have that feedback, that indicate or direction, that actual initiation of that sense of if you're on track or on the wrong path and need to do a course read. The ability to have that calibration to be self-aware with if you're on track or not with that direction of your human potential, your happiness, your fulfillment of life.
Right. And so you're suggesting tuning in on a moment-to-moment basis to get clear about whether we are actualizing our human potential.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, there's obviously different layers, so to speak, of your potential, of who you really are, or who you really would like to or could become, but also in the realm of those sensitivities with your inner communication with yourself too. And that's why you have to be practicing it daily in different ways to be able to be more in touch with it, for sure.
Awesome. Excellent. All right. So we'd love to hear some posted comments here. I'm not seeing too many yet, but you guys jump online, throw Travis a question. He's somebody I speak with on a weekly basis, actually, and I absolutely enjoy picking his brain and getting some feedback from him. And one of the things I've learned from you is around behavior modification. And it's a common question from our community is that, you know, they see their lives happening in a kind of a predictable way that they've been living for a lot of years, and they get introduced to chiropractic or the human potential movement, and they say, okay, I want to make some changes. It's one thing to know that we want to make changes. It's one thing to know what we might want to do. It's another thing to actually implement it. Could you give our listeners some tools or tips on how to make behavior modification?
Absolutely. Yeah, you know, I'm not the authority on this topic, but I do definitely have some insights, and I would like to share a little bit. You know, it's interesting because you mentioned behavior modifications are changes, and we are all creatures of habit. So for one person or an individual to acknowledge the desire to make a change, that I think is one of the most important aspects of getting in touch with your inner wisdom that grew inside you, is that you need to know what these changes are. Are they actually going to support you and build you up? Are they going to, again, fulfill you with who you really are? Or are you inadvertently adopting someone else's goals or desires or definitions of success? And that's a very challenging position to be in, because it's really hard to discern if it's your desires or someone else's. Mm-hmm. But that being said, just some tips. Once you do know what the changes are or behaviors you want to have in your life, and that's the big step. But once you figure those out, the biggest set of tools or kind of mechanism that help you do that more easily is something called ABC. This is something that's very common within cognitive behavioral therapy, is knowing the antecedent to a behavior or the thing that happens beforehand, the actual behavior you currently do or the routine or habit you currently have, and then of course the actual consequence or reward. So ABC, antecedent, behavior, and the consequence is really this process that we do already, but understanding by stepping back and creating that self-awareness audit, if you will, or kind of stepping back and getting that sense of what's already happening with the current routine you want to replace, is acknowledging those three aspects. And once you do, you can always keep that trigger, that antecedent there, and that's already going to be the case, but the behavior is what you can replace out. You can switch that out, and then of course the consequence or reward will maintain itself or change as well. And to give a better example is, let's say, I'm going to use you as an example there, Norm. Hope you don't mind. So great. You want to be doing CrossFit, right? So that was something you weren't doing yet, or enough of it. You wanted to be doing more of it. So that's the behavioral change you wanted to implement, right? Yeah. So we went back and forth discussing, first and foremost, is that something that truly you want to do, or is it something that is congruent with yourself, your authentic self? And after figuring that out more, there was obviously a trigger. So what do you do before you would go to CrossFit? Before you go to the gym? Is it first thing in the morning? Is there some kind of motivation that sparks up when you look at yourself in the mirror and see that you want to get more in shape? Or, what is that behavior?
So typically it's like scheduling my week out. So I have a game plan ahead that, I really want to get to CrossFit on Saturday, say.
Okay. And then you look at Saturday, what do you normally do on Saturday, the time of day that you want to go to CrossFit?
Yeah, so it's typically in the morning, and it's something that I look at doing, and sometimes I go, and sometimes I find reasons or excuses not to go. So leading into it.
Yeah, and I think that's that lays in the reward too, is because what are you trying to get out of going to CrossFit or going to the gym, so to speak?
For sure.
Are you trying to feel better about your physical fitness levels, or are you, again, I think we talked about this, are you going because there's a social element there? Maybe you're trying to go there to socialize and be friendly with those that go to CrossFit, or maybe there's something else. Maybe it's just a matter of, I don't know, getting out of the house, so to speak.
Yeah. This has been a great conversation that you and I have had, and what I've teased out of it, number one, is I really liked the social element, the camaraderie that came with CrossFit. I wanted to have more exercise in my life, right? And what we learned through the conversation that you and I had was that it really wasn't aligned with my ultimate values, in that I looked at other things that I can do for exercise, like hiking up a mountain. I never say no to hiking up a mountain. I look for opportunities to do it.
It's a juiced step. Yeah.
For sure. And so it was through our conversation that you really helped me get more aligned with who my natural essence is, which brought congruence and greater follow through. So it's been an ongoing conversation. You can go deeper into it if you want, but it's been a really important piece in my own well-being that you've helped to shed light on. So thank you for that.
Yeah, you're very welcome. But it's interesting because what I'm getting feedback from now is that we have a conversation so that we can try to whittle down and get more in touch with that, your inner guru, what your body's really wanting. And it's really hard to figure out. It's not always black and white, like, oh, let's go to CrossFit. Once I do it, I'm fine. It's a starting point. And by starting the process of getting in touch with that inner self and your authentic self in this realm, physical fitness, and the social element too, is going through the process. So this ABC approach is really just a tool to help you go through the process. And you actually, in fact, what you should do when you go through it is diarize it, you should write it down. And every time you have this routine that you currently do, you want to replace, or when you attempt to go do this new routine, in this example, it's going to CrossFit, or I guess in a later evolution of that is going to do a hike and going for outdoor walks, is that you actually want to write down what you feel after you do that behavior, after you do that routine. And again, is that something that's building you up, that's congruent with yourself, or is that something that's different?
Yeah. Yeah, great awareness. I don't know if there's a question in there or not, but I just want to say that it's been really a great awareness building skill for me. So I appreciate that from you. And it's helped me learn more about myself for sure. And so for our listeners, know if you're wanting to make behavior modification, some changes in your wellness behaviors, it's a process. Bring your awareness, tune into your inner guru, and really look to see, are these goals that you're setting up, are they your own authentic goals, or are they something that you've indoctrinated from the outside? I think a lot of people are living other people's values. So awesome. I'm going to move things forward just a little bit. And again, people, if you have comments, questions, throw them in the comment bar here. We'd love to hear from you. What else do we want to touch on? We wanted to touch on BJ Palmer. So BJ Palmer is the developer, chiropractor, and really a hero, if you will, for a lot of chiropractors, somebody that we look up to and read a lot about. And I know Dr. Travis has his favorite BJ Palmer quote, so lay it on us.
Yeah, I know. It's as you're saying, BJ Palmer is the developer of chiropractic, and I had the privilege of going to Palmer College Chiropractic in Davenport, Iowa, where he roamed the halls, and he had all these epigrams, these quotes that were just written on the walls. So I got to get exposed to those daily for about 4 years. And the one that I remember that just stuck with me and I think about more, like almost every day, is we never know how far reaching what we say, think, or do today will affect the millions of lives tomorrow. And now currently it's billions. It's literally billions of lives tomorrow. And that is it hits me so hard because it's congruent with this human potential movement of trying not to just encourage individuals to express more of their potential, but the bigger picture ripple effect with the big social change that we see happening once you have, literally millions of people expressing more of who they really are by being in touch with the inner guru, with their inner wisdom. That's why I love that quote, because it gets me so excited to understand that does happen And it is
absolutely. So I'm going to make this personal here. Travis, you've come into my life a couple times now, and both times were actually in very opportune moments. And you may or may not realize this, but they were kind of small in some scale offerings that you made to me have made a huge difference in my life and have had now ripple effects out to lots and lots, thousands of people through what we're doing right now. So I really appreciate your vote of confidence and your support in getting the Migrant Guru program up and running. It's awesome. Now, if people want to get in touch with you, how do they go about doing that?
Many ways. You can email me, but as opposed to giving my long email, you can always go on to our website, humanpotential360.com, and our number and emails are there. You can always get a hold of me and request me, and I'd love to connect with you, answer any questions or anything of that nature. Yeah.
Awesome. Excellent. So chiropractor in Calgary, if anybody is out there or want to refer their friends and family that way. He's also got tons of great bits of information on his Facebook page and website. Lots of resources there. All right. So we're looking for some comments. I'm not seeing any. Did you have any parting words, Travis?
I do. It's kind of reversing back to the conversation we were having before about the behavioral modifications, and then, of course, recognizing they have to be congruent with who you really are. I just have a personal story that years ago now. I was going to university for engineering at the time. And it's very interesting. I was thinking about this last night that was because I didn't want to be an engineer. I did it because other people thought I should be an engineer. Right. So my first year of undergrad was horrible because it was incongruent with who I was and who I wanted to become, and a backlash in a way that I'm grateful for now. But I had a real hard time in university that first year because it wasn't who I wanted to be. I didn't like what I was doing. I didn't like who I was becoming. And I had to do a 180 completely after the first year, in which I had the opportunity to go into psychology and neuroscience and then be on the path to become a chiropractor. But it wasn't comfortable. I didn't like it. And of course it was going the wrong way. But in hindsight, after I got over those issues at the time, and overcoming those obstacles and being where I am now, is I'm super grateful for the opportunity to have that awakening, that insight, to know that. And of course, if I had to do it all over again, yeah, of course I would, because I wouldn't be here if it weren't the case. But in the same token is that if individuals have an opportunity to better understand how they can be congruent with who they really are, who they want to become, is that's way more fun, and it's a little quicker too. So if you are on this live feed right now, and if you're listening in, and if you have a desire to become someone else, to make changes in your life, now's the time. And the best way to do that is by becoming more in touch with your inner wisdom and listening in and tuning in and having a little helping hand in the process, because it is hard. And if you have a guide or someone to do it, whether it's Dr. Norm or anyone else for that matter, is ask for help and just get started. That was my thought.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. A real firsthand experience about tuning into the wisdom within. We contrast that with where a lot of other people in our society would have went to. So you're in engineering. You're not having a good time. You're not studying because you're not focused. You're not interested in it. You start making yourself wrong for that. You start thinking that you're stupid. You get depressed. You go to your medical doctor. They put you on Prozac.
Yep.
Right? And then you continue down that life. And how many people are living unfulfilled lives, depressed, thinking that there's something wrong with them, where really what's going on is exactly perfect, that their body's giving them this state-of-the-art feedback saying you're on the wrong path. Make a change, right? So it's brilliant. All right, well, we're getting some feedback here. And Rachel Obey says that she has a similar story, that everyone wanted her to be a teacher and she ended up in anthropology, right? And I know this is a story that's familiar with a lot of people, and I think those course corrects happen a number of times through our lives as well. So it's not just once. We want to, and sometimes it's big course corrects, and sometimes it's little micro ones throughout our day too. So this is where tuning to the wisdom within is an ongoing process, moment to moment, dialing in, being connected with the guru within. All right. Well, thank you so much, Travis, for jumping on board today and sharing us your wisdom and your passion for life and for making a difference on the planet. Know that you are making ripple effects, and the innate in me blesses the innate in you.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, Doc. Appreciate it.
Hey, you're welcome. Awesome, awesome. Okay, until next time, everybody, Dr. Norm here reminding you to attune to the wisdom within. Be well.